Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me here today. This is your daily news report, Fourth Stimulus Check Update, and Fourth Stimulus Package Update. In today's video, I will be bringing you up to date on the latest stimulus news and information, including what checks will be sent out this month. SNAP benefits will increase by over 25% starting in October. Beginning in October, recipients of the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefits will see the permanent 25% increase. It's the highest increase in the program's history. The USDA looked at its program's components and made the determination based on what Americans normally current prices of food, dietary structure, and nutrients found in foods. After finding that cost-effective diet is now 21% higher, the USDA realized families have needed to buy cheaper food to cover the cost of making food last. Beginning this coming October, beneficiaries can expect to see an increase in their SNAP benefits of about $36 per person. Tips that can help families save money include taking an inventory of food items at home, bringing a grocery list, buying sale products or store brands, and using digital coupons. The Biden administration is working to strengthen the country's social safety net and has long aimed to increase food stamp benefits.
Gentleman from Texas, Mr. Arrington, to strike the last word.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This provision it's hard to compete with the unfortunate nature of the entire bill, but this one I'd put at the top of the list. I've been hearing my colleagues talk about building back better. I would suggest that this is yet another example of building back backwards. In fact, in West Texas, we'd say building back backwards. And that's a technical term for really upside down. On one hand, Mr. Chairman, we've got this hammer that we continue to beat down our job creators, our family farmers with the death tax, our fossil fuel or oil and gas, independent mom and pop operators who fuel this economy. We beat down our workers in trade by our inaction. We should do these no-brainer trade, pro-growth, job-creating provisions like TPA, GSP, MTB. These are no-brainers. We haven't done that.
Beyond the stimulus checks that arrived last spring, expanded child tax credit payments that are hitting the bank accounts of eligible families for at least a few more months, and a small increase in the earned income tax credit, it appears that the federal government may be easing away from stimulus programs for the time being. The hope is that the economy will grow at a robust enough pace to help lift all Americans. But in the meantime, 10 states have initiated or plan to initiate their own stimulus plans. Several states in the U.S. have taken matters in their own hands and have introduced new stimulus checks to help their own residents recover from the disruption caused by this crisis. Last month, the $100 billion California Comeback Plan was signed into law by Governor Gavin Newsom. The bill includes $8.1 billion in direct stimulus payments. Laser focused on who will receive a check, the plan provides $600 checks to be sent to taxpayers earning between $30,000 and $75,000 annually. An additional $500 will be sent to families with dependent children. And in the state of Colorado, any resident who earns less than $52,000 a year and received at least one weekly unemployment check between March 15, 2020 and October 24, 2020, is eligible to receive a check for $375 from the Centennial States General Fund. The American Rescue Plan provided enough funds for Florida to deliver $1,000 checks to educators, police officers, paramedics, EMTs, and firefighters. The funds are meant to thank those on the front lines of a state especially hard hit by this. The state of Georgia has distributed $1,000 bonuses to its teachers in the Peach State to recognize their hard work and sacrifices. Teachers spend a minimum of 5 days a week on the front lines. To help families across the state, Maryland repealed state and local taxes on unemployment benefits. The state also provided families with a $500 stimulus check and $300 to those who have filed for the earned income tax. In the state of Michigan, teachers who worked in school buildings received up to $3,000 in hazard pay. In addition, other teachers and support staff across the state received $500. Also, in the state of Missouri, they provided correctional officers with an extra $250 per paycheck for their work during the crisis. Everyone, the keyword for this video is Apple. Please make sure to comment this keyword to enter my Walmart gift card giveaway. Thank you so much, everyone. More than 4,600 low-income households in the state of New Mexico have recently received $750 in emergency financial assistance. The one-time payment was designed for low-income residents of New Mexico who did not receive a federal stimulus payment. In June, the Tennessee legislature took away a 2% increase from teachers across the state, but did provide $1,000 checks to all full-time educators and $500 for part-time teachers. These funds are expected to be delivered by the end of this year. Nurses, janitors, and retail workers have been among those on the front lines thanked for their sacrifices by the state of Vermont. Checks were as much as $2,000. Ideally, the crisis will soon be in the rearview mirror. More people will find their footing and return to work. Despite a forecast of 750,000 new jobs, the U.S. economy could barely muster just over a third of that, 235,000. It is the lowest total since January and could increase fears of a general economic slowdown as the country heads towards winter. In figures reported on Wednesday, the U.S. has its highest number of available jobs in history. In July, it had more than 10.7 million available job openings. These two figures should not be in this position. So many jobs should not be available, with so few taking them up. It begs the question, and should come up as no that this crisis plays such a big role in this disparity. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me here this morning. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much, everyone,